completely different.
And then I don't like always beginning my show by talking about things that happen in Florida because I literally have listens in 18 different countries and 50 different states. But let's talk about this locally in Tampa because it's just so funny.
Whoa! Happy Hot Topic!
Hey, welcome tonight. I'm Mark Wilson.
And I'm Allie Corey. Thanks for being with us.
I have a man crush on Mark Wilson. If you're not in Florida, you don't know who the hell Mark Wilson is. Hubba hubba, and I'm hetero.
Hey, welcome tonight. I'm Mark Wilson.
And I'm Allie Corey. Thanks for being with us. Our top story, the city of St. Pete has given a big boost to the plans for a Rays stadium.
The Rays were on their knees like, we really never had a deal in Tampa. We'll do anything. I'm sorry.
The city council just approved the bonds to fund their portion, leaving it now in the hands of county commissioners. Let's bring in Fox 13's Evan Axelbank.
Before we hear from the great Evan, by the way, when you drive by the Trop, it looks like a eyesore you would see in like Cleveland or something. It looks like a factory. The Trop always looked atrocious. Search up Tropicana Field if you've never seen it. But before and after, it looks even worse.
He has been following this one for years. He's live at City Hall now with the very latest on this vote today. Evan, a pretty important one, right?
Yeah, and this is a major reversal.
Why can't the news fix this? There's 4 seconds of dead air. Right here. Hey, so what's going on? And they wonder why AI is replacing the news. You can't even fix the delay.
Yeah, and this is a major reversal from just a few weeks ago when it was hard to see a path forward. The city now says it has done its portion of this project. They say they have approved the $287.5 million.
They're like, we've done our part. Now show up, Stu.
Dollars of the bond. They have fulfilled their end of the bargain, they say, even though the Rays have said, at least in the past, that they are not exactly sure how funding their part of the stadium, the team's part of the stadium, is going to work out. Nevertheless, that is for another day.
That is the most Tampa Bay Rays way of looking at things. We got this part done. Now let's push this back to March 2025.
The vote today was 4-3, with Councilor Gina Driscoll flipping from delaying the vote several weeks ago to saying today she's been satisfied that the Rays have reassured her that this deal is still possible.
The Rays are very mediocre when it comes to having a fan base, but I will give it to the Rays. That they have like enough of a fan base where I think it brings in money to obviously Fergs.
Despite their previous public comments. Mayor Welch echoed that, saying the Rays will not be sending a termination letter. It will now fall to county commissioners, who are expected to take up their $312.5 million bond vote on December 17th.
Oh, that's going to be real interesting. Nothing says happy holidays like dealing with a mediocre baseball team.
The Rays have said the twin delays will significantly increase their costs to the point that they aren't sure if they can afford to match the city and county's $600 million in bonds. And they say
there's always something. It's never just we're done. There's always more.
Their costs could be
like a woman.
Even more than that. But under this contract, they are responsible for that, the city reiterated. Now, one councilor was furious that
I can imagine you got the boomer counselor or maybe the young millennial who doesn't care about baseball.
The item was added at the last minute to today's agenda.
Yeah, it's very Tampa Bay Rays to kind of just, slide it in there a little bit.
Here, though, is the mayor reacting to this vote and also to our question as to whether the Rays have told him they'll be able to fund their portion of this stadium.
Before we get to it, congrats, Mayor, on having empty apartments downtown that nobody can afford. And congrats on having infrastructure where not almost everybody, but a lot of people lost their cars due to the roads flooding. But at least we got a deal done for a baseball team that no one really gives a shit about. What is with this dead air? I don't understand this. Local news is like, why is nobody watching us anymore? I've been doing it 11 minutes and 11 seconds. Make a wish. This show has been. But seriously, what is this? How can you have 4 seconds of dead air?
We have talked about a number of scenarios. End of the day, the city has responsibilities. Today we took care of our obligations.
Yeah, I like it. He's saying we did what we needed to do. Now it's on these morons.
Ability to fund our commitment. The county has an obligation, and the Rays have an obligation. Those are businessmen and women. They know how to put together a deal. They're partnering with Hines, one of the biggest developers in the world. And so we'll have conversations about how they can fill that gap.
When partners are communicating via letters, such
That's so boomer.
as the ones that we have seen, it's not an indication of a good partnership.
I like Lizette. Hell yeah. Oh, one more time. Awesome.
When our partners are not here,
Yeah, where are they at?
it's not an indication of a good relationship.
I love Lizette. I would swipe right on you. Hell yeah. That's awesome. Finally, someone calls him out.
There's no commitment to move forward. There's no clarity
I love it.
as to what will happen with all the agreements between the parties. And this is how a 30-year relationship is supposedly beginning.
Good point. And by the way, she's wearing a wedding ring. I wouldn't want to get in arguments with her.
Now, the team has said the city shouldn't even fix Tropicana Field and that they'd like to reach a settlement over the stadium,
Just knock it down. It looks like a shithole anyway.
which would bring them upfront revenue.
All right. I love the Rays. They crack me up. This is so pathetic. And then even their energy when you're at games, it feels pathetic. Like you're trying to make something out of nothing. And then when you're around people that work there, they mean well. The whole production is B-team vibes. You're not the Lightning or the Bucks, but you might be better than Todd Bowles.
Happy hour. Happy hour.